With Nama, the first genealogy comes to an end. The names have carried us from Eve to the return of the mothers, through two maternal branches, and to a daughter whose memory reaches into Israel's monarchy. The story now turns to another woman whose role will shape the future of the covenant itself. Her name is Sarai. 24 years have passed since Abram left Haran. Abram and Sarai encounter the one who declares, "I am El Shaddai." The covenant that follows is not centered on conquest. It is centered on life, on descendants, on seed. Sarai, soon to become Sarah, now stands at the heart of that promise. The covenant changes more than a promise. It changes two names. Abram becomes Abraham. Within these consonants, Abram, father exalted, becomes Abraham, father of womb, and Abraham, father of compassion. Sarai becomes Sarah. Earlier, Eve spoke of another seed in place of Abel. Now the promise of seed continues through Sarah. The consonants SRH reveal Isha Ora, woman light. The hidden women of Genesis are no longer confined to the genealogies. Sarah now stands at the head of the covenant family, and the story begins to follow the women through whom the promised seed will pass. The covenant now passes to the next generation. Sarah's son Isaac has grown to manhood. Abraham sends his servant to seek a wife from among his own people. The servant arrives at a well and prays for a sign. Not wealth, not beauty, not noble birth, compassion. A young woman approaches carrying a water jar. Her name is Rebekah. She offers water to the stranger. Then, without being asked, she draws enough water for all of his camels. It is an extraordinary act of generosity. The servant recognizes that the sign he requested has been fulfilled. Rebekah becomes Isaac's wife, and through her the promised seed continues. For the second time, the covenant advances through a woman whose character is revealed by compassion rather than power. The story is quietly preparing us for another woman, one who will not simply come to a well, but who will arrive leading her father's flock. The journey now brings us to Haran. Jacob arrives at a well outside the city. Several flocks are gathered there. The shepherds are waiting. Then Genesis introduces one of its most remarkable women, Rachel. She does not simply come to draw water. She comes leading her father's flock. The text identifies her plainly. She was a shepherdess. For the first time, the covenant story presents one of its great matriarchs not inside a household, but as a shepherd. The hidden women of Genesis now stand openly within one of Israel's oldest and most enduring traditions. Jacob has returned to the homeland of his mother. Isaac sent him to the household of Bethuel to find a wife. Within our investigation, the consonants of Bethuel reveal another reading, Beit El, the house of El. This is not the first time we have encountered that house. From Genesis onward, the covenant has been carried through women who preserve the compassionate tradition we have been following. Now Jacob arrives at that household. There, beside a well, he meets Rachel, the daughter of Laban. Genesis introduces her with remarkable simplicity. She is not drawing water. She is leading her father's flock. Rachel is a shepherdess. The story does not bring Jacob to a palace or a royal court. It brings him to the house of El, where the covenant once again advances through a woman. Rachel's journey is only beginning. For now, Genesis simply presents a shepherdess arriving with her flock, but the hidden thread continues. From Sarah to Rebekah to Rachel, the covenant returns again and again to the house of El. From the opening chapter of Genesis, our investigation has followed a single thread. It begins with the creation account, where we first encountered the pattern of Father El and Ella the mother. It continues through Eve, who declares that Elohim has provided another seed after Abel's death, a seed through which the story now moves forward. That thread passes through Sarah and the covenant of El Shaddai. It continues through Rebekah. Now it brings us to Rachel the shepherdess. Again and again, the covenant returns to the same household, identified through names that preserve the memory of the house of El. Again and again, it is the women who carry the covenant forward. Rachel is not the only daughter of the house of Bethuel. Laban has two daughters. The younger is Rachel, the elder is Leah. History remembers Rachel. Yet Genesis devotes remarkable attention to Leah. Before Rachel becomes Jacob's beloved wife, Leah enters the story first. The narrative now asks us to look beyond appearances. The hidden thread we have been following continues, not through one woman alone, but through both daughters of the house of El. Jacob's household now begins to grow, not through one woman, but through four: Rachel, Leah, Bilhah, Zilpah. Each will bear sons who become the tribes of Israel, yet Genesis gives these women remarkably different roles. Their names are different, but El resides in each. Their stories are different. Even the language surrounding their children is different. Our investigation suggests these differences are intentional. Genesis may be preserving 4 distinct strands within the house of Israel. As we follow each woman, we will ask whether their names, their descendants, and the language surrounding them preserve clues hidden within the consonants. Leah is often remembered as the elder sister who stood in Rachel's shadow. Yet Genesis gives Leah a place of extraordinary importance. Leah becomes the mother of 6 sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. Together, Leah's sons become half of the tribes of Israel. When the story reaches Jacob's final blessings, each is remembered with a distinctive image. Reuben is compared to flowing water. Simeon and Levi are remembered together. Judah becomes the lion. Issachar is associated with strength and labor. Zebulun looks toward the sea and the ships of merchants. These images suggest that each of Leah's sons preserves a unique identity within the larger story of Israel. As our investigation continues, we will ask whether Leah herself, and even her name, preserves another layer of meaning hidden within the ancient consonants. Unlike Leah and Rachel, Bilhah and Zilpah enter the story as handmaids. Yet Genesis gives each an enduring place within the house of Israel, sons of Jacob. Bilhah becomes the mother of Dan and Naphtali. Dan is remembered as a judge among his people. Naphtali is compared to a graceful doe set free. Zilpah becomes the mother of Gad and Asher. Gad is associated with overcoming those who attack him. Asher is remembered for abundance, rich food, and royal delicacies. Though their place in the story is often overlooked, the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah stand alongside the others as tribes of Israel. Their mothers too become part of the hidden thread we have been following from the beginning. Rachel's firstborn was named Joseph. His arrival ended years of waiting and filled Rachel's heart with hope. As she named her son, Rachel looked beyond the present and prayed that another child would one day be added to her family. Years would pass before that prayer was fulfilled. During those years, Joseph would grow under Rachel's care as the family journeyed toward the land promised to Abraham. Neither Rachel nor Joseph could know that after the birth of her second son, their lives would be forever changed. Rachel's earthly life appears to end with the birth of Benjamin. Jacob mourns, and Rachel disappears from the biblical story. Or does she? The text soon introduces another unnamed figure who quietly shapes Joseph's destiny in Egypt. Did Rachel vanish at all, or did she return under another identity? The mother who gave Joseph life will now help raise him to power. Rachel is gone, but a mysterious baker will join Joseph in Egypt. Throughout this journey, we have followed the hidden women who carried the covenant from one generation to the next. Eve to Ada, Ada to Nama, Nama to Sarah, Sarah to Rebekah, Rebekah to Rachel. Rachel now appears to vanish from the story, but in the Hebrew Bible, disappearance often signals transformation rather than an ending. Joseph is about to begin the greatest journey of his life, yet he will not travel alone. A mysterious woman, remembered only as the baker, quietly enters the Egyptian court and helps shape the destiny of the young dreamer. In Hidden Women Part 4, we will ask a remarkable question. Did Rachel simply disappear? Or did she return under another name to prepare Joseph for his rise to power in Egypt?